Donald, you never want to play games with me. It's Halloween time. You know you must want to... Oh. Hello. I didn't hear you come in. Please, have a seat. It is Halloween time here, and well, I was just talking with Donald here about a good game of Boo-opoly. But alas, he doesn't want to play with me. So, YouTube, it's been quite a while, has it not? Things have changed since you were last with me here in the interwebs. It is now Halloween time, as you can see by my terrifying decor. Oh, but no, really, so a lot's happened. I got married. Not sure if you can see that there, but it's official. Nikki and I got married in September 13th, so we can have a Friday the 13th anniversary. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Let's see. Brewed up several beers here. They're all on tap, and we took them to the wedding and ended up not drinking them all. So we've got them here, and I realized I hadn't done a single taste test for you. So without further ado, we're going to do some taste testing here. I've got my taster glass here. Kind of a large tasting glass, but we all know that I'm a professional. So, the Lime in Love. This is actually a carbonated wine expert wine. I'm only going to do about half of this one. So, it's a carbonated wine expert limited edition, one of their summer kits, the Hard Limeade. We had a couple folks bring by the limeade for us to try, and still, you know, in a wine bottle just like it's supposed to be. And I thought it was good, but I thought it needed something. So I put it in a soda bottle, put on one of the carbonator caps and forced carbonated, you know, 16 ounces of it just to see how it worked out. And I loved it carbonated. So that is exactly what we have here, a sparkling hard limeade from the Wine Expert kits. Nikki appropriately named it Lime in Love. It was actually the, what is it, the dessert hour beverage of choice. Smells limey. Not crazy limey, not sour, but it smells really nice and fruity. Yeah, I think the carbonation just makes that one perfect. To me it tastes like kind of a carbonated, lower booze factor margarita. And I love margaritas, so. Elvira, if you're watching, I don't know if you like margaritas. I'm going to assume you do. The witch is back. It's Halloween time! I'm so excited! But yeah, I'd put it in the sweet category, definitely in the sweet category. Not like cloyingly sweet, not like syrup or like, oh my gosh, I just, you know, ate a candy bar. But more so, it's a nice balance to the tartness of the lime. So yeah, I love it. This is a great light cocktail, I guess. You know, it's 7.5% alcohol. It's made similar to the Island Mist kits. In fact, it is, I believe it is in the Island Mist line, but it's their summer seasonal. This year it was hard limeade and hard pink lemonade. I wasn't a big fan of the hard pink lemonade, just not my thing, but this, go-to. We have one of each available still in the store if you're looking for one. We paired this, didn't really pair it, I guess at the wedding we had a whole schoolhouse, a small 1800 schoolhouse full of like specialty cheeses and desserts. And this went really, really well with the other really sweet stuff. It matched it because it was sweet, but the tartness popped it well. So yes, very, very good. If you haven't made one, definitely try it. So, we shall move on. But before, Joe, are you going to rinse that? Yes, I am. And I have not a floor drain, but I've got a drip tray on the floor here, a big It's like 2 feet long. So there we go, rinsed and ready to roll. So the next one we're going to try here is the Maison de Nain. So my dog's name is Squidge, but we call him Nain, like you do. And Maison is French for house. So it's the House of Nain. This beer is actually the Domaine de Page clone we brewed up together. So let's see. This one is 6, 8, probably about 8 weeks old now. Domaine de Page clone from the September 2010 edition of BYO magazine. So here it is. And I might add that says, damn good beer. Damn good beer. If you've never made it up to Minhas Brewery up in Wisconsin, you should. My tasting glass from there, and I love that it says damn good beer. That's where I drink my beer from it. It is damn good, and it's a smaller pour so I don't get shit-faced too fast. So the Maison de Nain. This is the Domaine de Page clone we brewed up. Color-wise, you can see, we'll put it here in the white so you can kind of see it there. But it's really, really spot on color-wise. Beautiful kind of dark gold color. Little, almost verging on light amber, I guess you could say. Well, it probably is light amber. But, I don't know. I don't have the best color eyes. So, okay. So, this one was brewed with the White Labs 072, I believe. They're French ale. It's the specialty. It's the platinum strain from June and July. I picked up some of those specifically for this beer because it's what the recipe recommended. So, get a really nice maltiness out of it, and you can immediately pick up a little bit of like the fruity yeast ester, if you know what I mean. It's a kind of reminiscent of like a Belgian style, like not farmhouse, but you know, that kind of Belgian-y fruitiness. Okay, you can see some lovely foam on top there. I think it's really good. I do think, though, that it is not obviously a perfect clone of Domaine de Page, but it's in the same ballpark. And I'm not talking like a giant stadium, I'm talking about like the little home, you know, the small town ballpark. It's close. It's very close. To me, the recipe from BYO is not as sweet as Domaine de Page. A little bit crisper. It could be maybe a lack of a caramel, possibly. Or I know that Two Brothers ages a lot of their beers on French oak, and it may just be missing that. I did not put any oak in this. I thought about it, but didn't end up doing it. Didn't have the time to. What with the whole getting married and all, you know. Yeah, it's a wonderful malt nose, wonderful fruity aroma. I don't get a whole lot of fruity flavor, if that makes sense, though. You know how like a saison or something, it's like, wow! It's more mellow than that. Nice bitterness, you know, a nice bitterness. But yeah, between this and Two Brothers, Domaine de Page, I'd buy both of them for different reasons, if that makes sense. Both really, really good beers. But yeah, this one's just a little crisper. You know what's funny is that it's actually gotten a little crisper as it aged a little bit. Back at the wedding, so the wedding was 4 weeks ago. Yesterday, actually. 1 month ago. 1 month and a day. Then it was still a little yeasty, if that makes sense. I don't know if I gave this enough time to settle out. I cold crashed it just like I always do. Got it in the keg and poured out a good first pour under higher pressure to just suck all the crap up from the bottom of the keg. And yeah, but it had a kind of a yeastier flavor, kind of that I don't know, that buttery kind of yeasty, when you can tell you're drinking yeast, It's gotten a lot clearer, obviously. I mean, that's crystal clear. And flavor-wise, it has lost that yeastiness. So, between the two, I like this one better. I like that it aged a little bit better. So if I do this again, I'll be sure to give myself 6 weeks rather than 4 to age it, right? So, So yeah, very, very good beer. I definitely recommend giving it a try. If you can get your hands on that White Labs French Ale. You could probably also go with Yeast 3711. The French Saison would probably be close to the same. I would ferment it cooler, though, on the cool side, so you don't get as much of that Saison-y bouquet. I don't know what is, bouquet. So yeah, definitely recommend giving it a try. Delicious and expeditious. All right, so now the maple brown. That's the one that's been aging the longest. It turned out pretty darn good, but again, I've got critiques for myself, of course. I'm never happy with anything, so I've been told by my wife. How weird is that? Nikki is now my wife. That's such a weird word, wife. You can ask Nikki too. I always will have these moments where I'm like, where on earth did that word come from? Wife. Or, like, I don't know, gasket. I don't know. I find words to be strange. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe in a past life I was an English professor or something and studied words and their histories and everything, or I don't know. Anyway, maple brown, here we go. Woo! Got a little foamy there. They're all under the same pressure though, so this could give you a little indication. So in my kegerator here, I keep it at 10 psi. You notice a little bit of a difference there. Quite a bit of foam, but you can see it's cascading down. It'll chill out here in a second, but nice carbonation there on the bottom. So, beautiful color. While we're waiting for that to settle down, let's talk haunted houses. I actually just got an email today from someone on YouTube asking, well, actually it was on Facebook, but through the YouTube, if that makes sense. Anyway, asking, Joe, where's the haunted house videos and stuff? This is the second video that I've shot since we've gotten back from the wedding and the honeymoon and stuff, just because I have not had any time. Literally, it's been, whoa, it's been a month? What? It's been 2 months since we started really seriously had to start boxing up stuff for the wedding and stuff? What? Craziness. So yeah, it's just been a whirlwind. So I apologize. We're probably not going to do any like making of videos. We may do a behind the scenes before actual Halloween night and posting the walkthrough. But yeah, so far I've built 2 props. We're kind of recycling different pieces. I took apart the eyeball we made last year to make a corpse popper, and what else? We took the captain's steering wheel and turned it into a head that kind of moves around behind a tombstone. Ooh, frightening. But yeah, haven't made a video of it just because I haven't had the time. In addition, I'm not sure if you noticed or not, but I'm very clear. I'm very, very clear now. And the reason, I can see myself in my little monitor. I got a new camera. Ended up getting this camera for the wedding and for YouTube. So I hope that you folks that watch my videos in HD notice the difference. I'm sure you will, because it's a difference between, what, 760 and 1080. We've gone high def, high def. So you're going to be able to make out all my awful pores and my terrible hair. Oh, it's disgusting. Anyway, so yes, reason where I'm going with this is the new camera. I haven't quite learned all the ins and outs of it to use it, so figured let's just start shooting some videos. And so this is video number 2 after the wedding. I haven't even edited any wedding videos yet because honestly I haven't quite figured out how to handle that video format. So we will be getting this one up as soon as possible. But yeah, so it's just been a whirlwind. I haven't had the time to actually shoot the haunted house up there in the garage. It is going on. We are definitely going to do one. We're definitely going to have the walkthrough. Hopefully we'll have a little bit of behind the scenes coming up here in the next week or so. But yeah, it's just been a whirlwind, and I've kind of been building props on impulse. I'm improvising a lot myself this year. Nikki's got more of an idea. She's doing a lot of foam carving. And you know the foam carving goes. So it's not the most exciting to watch. But we may do a behind the scenes maybe this weekend once we all really hit it hard, because as we all know, we are only 16 days away, 15 days away from Halloween. So we've got a lot of work to do. The concept this year is going to be a cemetery, an outdoor cemetery indoors, if that makes sense. It is going to be, as you all know, we love Miss Morgan Creek. She is our titular character. And she, of course, has been around for a bajillion years. So it is the, I believe, and I hope I get this right or else I'll hear from Nikki, the monastery of Miss Morgan Creek, or the monastery of Madame Morgan Creek, I believe is what she called it. So we're going with an Italian-style cathedral ruins graveyard with a tomb, accessible tomb, and then of course horror and demons, maybe not demons, zombies definitely, and you know, spirits. Going kind of for a I don't know, an indoor-outdoor experience. Yes, as they would say on Keeping Up Appearances, an indoor-outdoor luxury garden barbecue with finger buffet. So, okay, that's died down now. The Maple Brown. We brewed this one up. We've actually had folks, or I've actually had folks contact me about brewing this beer, asking me for tips and tricks, and honestly, I haven't drank enough of it to come up with any ideas, you know? So if you watch that video, a couple videos back, definitely give it a look. Not too hard of a process. Was pretty cool. Color turned out beautifully. There it is on the white background there. It looks really dark, but it's not. So let's see here if I can do this here. See? You can see my finger behind it. So it is a real nice brown. It's not pitch black. My lighting isn't the best. If we have a lot of YouTube views and I make a little bit of revenue off something one of these days, maybe I'll buy some nice lights. That'll be cool. I'm sitting under a fluorescent with another fluorescent pointed at me. So yeah, so color-wise, beautiful. Aroma-wise, it's a little fruity. We used the Burton Ale, White Labs 23 on this one. Developed up a big culture of it. We threw in the that container of pure Vermont maple syrup, organic maple syrup, right at the end. So I don't get any maple aroma. I get a definitive fruitiness. And you know, that's the yeast. Well, it smells really nice. Doesn't smell sweet, doesn't really smell malty or anything. I just get a nice, English fruity, if that makes sense. It's not. It does not smell the same fruity as this, if that makes sense. So. It's so good. And it's so much better now that it's aged even more. The Maple Brown was the first beer I brewed for the wedding because I knew it needed the longest to age. I should have brewed it like a month and a half before I did. Because now, in my opinion, it's just absolutely delicious. 1 month ago, let's go back to the wedding. It was still very good, but the fruitiness was a little strong for me. It has since mellowed out. More of the roastiness has come back. And when it comes to the maple side, I probably would adjust my grain bill so that the extracted sugars from the grain is a little bit lower, so I could add more maple syrup. It doesn't have a very strong maple flavor to me. Now, if you go with one of those maple syrups that's like, 1 teaspoon of this is all you need on your pancakes because it's so freaking strong, maybe the same amount we use would be fine, but I get a hint of the maple, and I don't know if I were to use a different, maybe more bland yeast, maybe something not like the Burton, maybe something more just like the British, or SO4, or something, British Ale 2, something that keeps the maltiness and the sweetness there, but doesn't really add a whole lot of fruit factor, those esters to it. Maybe then I would pick up on the maple syrup a little bit more, maybe get a little bit more of a maple flavor. But you can tell that there's a sweetness, there's a flavor in it that's not like caramel 60. It's not a caramel malt or a roasted malt. You can taste the roasted over here, you can taste a caramely here, and then there is that elusive something, and I'm pretty sure that's the maple syrup. It's an awesome, I love it. It's absolutely awesome. But you get a hint of the maple. I would like a little more maple. Maybe another idea for this. Brew the exact same batch, but omit the maple syrup. I shouldn't say brew the exact same batch, because I'm getting ready to change everything. Brew a similar batch, but maybe knock out some of the caramel malts to eliminate sweetness, make it like a bone-dry brown. And then add the maple syrup when you keg it. Kill off all the yeast in your thing, freeze the batch, or maybe add biofine or something with sulfite, clarifier to just knock it out. So that way you don't have any yeast in there that can re-ferment. And then maybe add your sweetness with maple syrup. Maybe then it would pop more. I don't know. If anyone's brewed a maple ale, a maple brown ale, a maple stout, whatever, leave some comments down below. This could be a great discussion piece for us all to sort of try out, because like I said, it's a really good beer, but I don't get the maple. I get the brown. The brown is like, knocked it out of the ballpark. That's exactly what I wanted. But the maple, it just didn't quite come across as strong as I wanted. I wanted a little bit more, not sap flavor, do you know what I mean? But I didn't want it to be super sweet like maple syrup, but I wanted that maple flavor, if that makes sense. And I get that, every time I take a sip of this, when it warms up on my tongue, I get this wonderful caramely roasted flavor. And I'm positive that the maple syrup is helping to accentuate that. It's popping the flavor. But I don't get a mapley, I want to, suck on the tree. I don't know. I need, put sap in there. I don't know. I have no idea. This is my first foray with using maple syrup in anything. So I love maple syrup though. Maple candies, holy crap. I went to my very good friends Chris and Kate's wedding in Vermont. They actually came to my wedding. Chris and Kate, I know you're watching this. Thank you for coming to our wedding. I love you guys. Anyway, and when we were out there in Vermont, I got to try these wonderful, wonderful, wonderful maple candies made right there in Vermont. And I tell you what, maple candies are probably my favorite thing in the world. And maybe I was shooting for that strong maple flavor like that those candies have in the beer, but not the sweetness. So if anyone knows how I can get to that, leave a comment down below, shoot me a private message, whatever, because I'm going to brew this beer again. The maple brown again. It's not going to be the same recipe because I want to pop that maple flavor. I want that just... I want Vermont in a glass, man. But still, on its own, I would absolutely buy this. So definitely brew this recipe. It's worth it. In the video, in the comments, or not the comments, the more info section, I did leave, I'm pretty sure I left all the recipe there if you want to actually brew it yourself. And of course, my homebrew shop has all the stuff you need to do it, with the exception of that maple syrup. So try some local maple syrup if you're over there on the East Coast, or if you're not over on the East Coast, order it from the East Coast so you get some good stuff. The Vermont, in my opinion, is the best. But it's such a nice beer. It's such a good brown ale. I think I'll change the yeast out and maybe try to edit the specialty grain, the caramel malts, and the maple syrup factor. Maybe less caramel malt, more maple syrup. And then maybe diminish my base malt a little bit so that way it's not like 9%. So, but yeah, all of these turned out great. I would highly recommend giving them a try if you're looking for something different. These are all styles I have never tried before, but that's how I roll. I've never brewed the same batch twice, with the exception of my pumpkin ale, just because that's probably one of my favorite beers ever. I don't brew it often because it's a little hard to do, and also I would drink it so fast. I would be just 500 pounds of drunken bliss, and I'd be in my orange shirt, I'd look like a giant pumpkin, it'd be beautiful. But I'm not quite ready for that. So, but yeah. So I always change my recipes. I always try to brew new things. I've been asked before, you know, what's your go-to beer? I don't know. I don't have one. Not at my brewing anyway. There are commercial ones I'll go to if I know I'm looking for something in particular. But when it comes to like a style or a recipe of my own that I always go to, just doesn't exist. Not yet. I have not. It could be that I haven't found something that's absolutely so perfect that I would never ever change it, and I only want to drink it. But it's probably more so the fact that, you know, I'm sure as this video depicts, I'm almost on the borderline like ADD, and I can't. I have no favorites. I can't focus on anything for too long. So for me, I like variety. Variety is the spice of life. You've got to have variety. And as we did, a light lime wine, a French, I guess you could say farmhouse ale, a French ale, country ale, and then a good old English base brown with maple syrup. That's actually what I should call it. It's not a maple brown. It's an English brown with maple syrup in it. Yes, that's more accurate. Delicious. I like it a lot. I'm going to change it if I do it again. So, cheers YouTube. As always, thanks for watching. Have a very happy Halloween. We should be posting more videos of the... I'm going to really try to do some behind the scenes stuff for you, show you what we're up to. Right now it's just a pile of foam scraps and zombie body parts and bones. So there's not a lot to look at right now. Oh, and car parts. I've had a whole lot of car problems lately. So if it's not one thing, it's the other. But hey man, we're carrying on. We're having fun with it. There's going to be some more brewing. I've got a couple ideas for recipes I want to do. I'm not going to do any teasers because I haven't actually decided if I want to try them yet. But a couple other styles that I'm looking to try. Obviously, it's too late for us to do the pumpkin beer for Halloween, so probably won't do that one this season, but you know, I don't know, maybe some type of a holiday thing. I don't know. We shall see. We've got some product reviews coming up. The other video I shot is a product review. I've got one more in mind I'd like to do. And then we're going to start looking into mash tuns and a little bit more technical info as we go into wintertime. So, I should be much more present in your lives. I've said that a couple times before, but now, better camera. I've got 2 cameras now that we can use for this. It should rock and roll. It should be really, really cool. Hopefully, we will also be doing more with the BIY, Homebrew Supply, the store. So, if you are in the Iowa area or anything, definitely give us a look, check us out, and you know, stop by, see what we're up to. We haven't done classes or anything like that, but that's something I'm looking to add to our roster, as well as we're trying to expand our selection. More DIY kits. I've got, again, more recipes I want to try out, and that's where I've been brewing a lot, has been for those, for our kits. So, cool. Again, thank you for watching YouTube. I have got more drinking to do. And I should probably get out to the garage and, you know, start cleaning up my piles of car parts. So, cheers YouTube! Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon. 17!